And who want to be friends with you anymore anyway, Keisha? I'm just saying, I don't want to be your friend anymore either. Well, if you haven't watched the latest episode of The Shy, go watch it because I'm about to spoil it. Here is my thoughts. And I'm going to start with Emmett. First of all, let's start off with Jada coming in his dreams. I cried the whole time because my mom has visited me in my dreams. And it was all white. And it was something that I loved her doing, which was like rubbing my head. So to see Jada come and basically be in Emmett's, realm, but in all white, and give him the advice that he was asking his dad, but couldn't tell him, you know what I'm saying? Was just like reassuring to me. Like, I know I'm not the only one. Has anybody had anybody that was super close to them visit them in their dreams and give them advice, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent? If so, comment below. But Emmett was compelled to release, and actually tell Keisha. And I like that he was transparent. Like, I can't believe, she didn't tell me. And he like, he took out her baby daddy. And the thing that's making me mad about the whole Keisha and Nook situation and Tiffany is the fact that I'm glad Keisha was like, I got to talk to her. And I'm glad she did talk to her. But for her to, even when Tiff was like, he took, the father of my, he took the father of my child too. So he did it to me, so I only did it onto him. And I'm not saying two wrongs make a right. But not only did he do that in spite trying to get back at Alicia, but then he come playing in my face trying to play Daddy of the Year and be my man. Like, and Keisha's like, I know you weren't trying to do that to make up. And she's like, no, I'm just giving you the wedding that we both deserve. And that is true. I feel like Tiff was coming from a genuine spot and feeling guilty of the fact that she made the move without thinking about Keisha. But at the time, if I get some info that the man that I'm with acting like he's the daddy of the year and he got good intentions with me, and he knows what he did, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna probably think the same way Tiff did. You're getting out of here, bro. I have no I don't feel you playing in my face. You playing with me. I'm sure Tiff has cried and said like, dang, I wish his dad was here. Cried about Alicia. He did Alicia too. Like, and the thing that's bothering me with Keisha is the fact that she acted as if Nook was some noble Chicago, like he was just some noble guy that was helping out Chicago. No, you had a baby with a criminal, a drug lord, a thug. Like, for you to not think, I get it's hitting close to home because it's like, dang, we are not dysfunctional, but we are a blended family in the person who did it. But it was like she said, she could have told Tiff, but it was like, how do you tell? Like, look at it from my view. Like, I just made a terrible decision not thinking about your family and just going purely off of my emotions. But he wasn't a good guy. Like, he took out Papa's daddy. Like, I can go on. He's terrible. Terrible. And the thing that made me so mad throughout this entire episode was Victor taking the fault. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not taking the fault for Tiff. But my thing is this. Victor, why didn't you just let them take Tiff? She got enough money to pay for a great lawyer. She could say, I'm not speaking until my lawyer get here. They didn't have a body. They didn't have a weapon. They searched the house. They couldn't find out what, like, whoever wrote this did not think this through at all. Like, there was no weapon, no body. It was a voice clip. That don't mean nothing. Not a thing. He was a known gangster. He took out Duda. Like, come on now. All of a sudden, everybody's worried about what happened to the criminal thug that was just roaming the streets, making the environment worse. Like, no. Victor, why are you taking the fault? And furthermore, Reg, what are you doing? Jake, why are you even asking your brother to do? Like, no, I'm not doing a bid for nothing, for nobody. We just lost our mom. Why would I make a decision like that? Tiff had enough money to fight this in court. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. But on a lighter note, I'm glad that Emmett's dad and his new lady, even though it still makes me mad that he has a new lady already, but it's not abnormal for somebody to lose somebody and trying to get through it. They hook up with somebody that feels close and feel like home. I like her. She's a good addition. But for them to show that part of him giving his house and them coming up like, man, him crying. I was over here crying too. I cried when Jada and watching Keisha's reaction. Because I felt Keisha. You playing in my face. That's the only thing I can get from that whole situation. You was playing in my face when you knew all along. But it was like, how do I tell my best friend, like one of my best friends, what I did? So, I ain't gonna say forget Keisha. I understand her stance. That's still the father of her child. But it's like, we both are at a loss. And he wasn't the greatest person. Like, I'm not saying he deserved what he got, but I just reacted. And that's what I would have poured out to Keisha. And she could have been mad at me or whatever, but just know, like, I didn't mean to, like, make this be like a butterfly effect or a domino effect in that way. Anyway, so that part was sad. I don't really care about the dude that is taking Nook's position and Kyla Pratt helping him, her character helping him. I don't even understand, like, why he got locked up. Bakari, I feel like something's gonna happen to him. And why would he tell his girl? Why would you tell her? Is she the reason why all this happened the way it happened anyway? Why would you tell her? Lene, I think that's her name. Why would you tell her? She got a big mouth. I'm glad that Papa finally was like, I'm done with that wasn't doing well for him anyway. Bakari needs to just get out of here. He don't owe anybody an explanation or reason, rhyme or reason or anything. Get up out of here. But I'm sure they're gonna copy because the wedding still gotta happen because they wrapped it up. I'm glad Emma's dad was also able to get the watch back, and that was a little funny little part 2 in the episode. But that's my thoughts. All of this could have been prevented. Reg, why? I'm not saying I'm team Reg either. I'm just saying, like, they finally all becoming, bros. They bonding. He can change. But I'm not taking the rap. Especially when Victor didn't have to be Captain Save or nothing. I just don't understand. Who wrote this? It's very rushed. I like that they was giving us recaps. But I'm not going down for a murder charge. I'm not doing a life sentence when I ain't do it. At least put me down for something I did. Like, no. So, that's my thoughts. What's your thoughts? Was y'all mad too? Because I was pissed. You understand? Pissed watching this episode and certain things that was happening in this episode. It just did not make any sense when it came to the writing. I don't understand. How is the bad guy winning and he ain't even here no more? He don't deserve all of that. Y'all didn't even figure out who did it to Duda. Like, what? And he was worse than Nook. Make it make sense. I would rather Reg being taken out for doing what he doing than doing whatever. And then the other thing is Kyla Pratt dude trying to press old dude at the chicken joint at Emmett's place about his woman helping with his business. You don't want to stop going through Tiff. Like, you're an idiot. You deserve everything that come to you too. He's like the worst person they've ever added in this whole thing for me. It's just dumb. I don't understand the writing. Help me. Help me. I also like that they show Bakari like the kids actually reading Bakari's book. I think that is so great because they live in an area where it's so easy to pick up environmental things that are not gonna be leading you down the right path. So for them to read it, and I was glad, he introduced that to them. I also liked the part, where Keisha and Emmett and his baby moms was sitting there talking about what was good for baby boy. Not to say he a baby, but for, their son. And it's very hard for moms to admit, especially with a dad that is willing to be a part of their kid's life and not just every now and then. But it's really hard for moms to be like, if that, to release and let go of your child. So I'm glad that they came to a happy medium and that it works for both of them. And I just think that was such a beautiful conversation because a lot of moms feel very funny when they give up their child to the father when it's for the betterment of the child. So I actually want to also chime in on that. I like that scene a lot because it shows healthy conversations in a healthy way. One thing that they do with this show, for it to be in the environment that it is in, especially with like Emmett and Keisha, the emotional intelligence in their relationship and just being transparent. And even when it came down to Nook and Reg being transparent with his girl, the transparency of just growth is showing how to have those hard conversations. Even when it came to Keisha and Tiff talking and her saying, I'm going to talk to her, not I'm going to fight her and being all extra. Just for Keisha, understanding like, and I got a feeling she may turn around and really talk to Tiff, and I'm hoping that happens. I also like seeing the arc of their relationship, how they showed in the past, and they also did that with Reg and Jake, the arc of just like what they taught them or how their relationship was. I like seeing that. hopefully Tiff turn around. I'm not saying that their relationship is ever going to be back to how it is, but just a level of understanding and emotional intelligence of just being able to say, I'm wrong, and or we can disagree. We can agree to disagree on how things should have been. I like that about this show. So those parts are parts that, I really love about The Shy, showing how to have the hard conversations and saying it's okay that I'm not going to be doing this no more and that it's not good for me anymore. And just the struggle in between, like if you are in that life. Like I think they were good with showing Nook trying to be the family guy, but also trying to live this life that he just was like born into in a sense. And I think that's even with Reg. You know what I'm saying? So those are little things that I like about The Shy. I don't want to say it's all bad, but those are things that I like seeing about this show, seeing emotional intelligence. And even with the dad saying, like, I can't move back into the house that I created for me and Jada. Like, even that, the honesty and level of honesty in that, like, I love that about this show.